Okay, I am back. And I need a ring light. I really should get one. I don't know why I haven't. Let's talk about Drew Barrymore and Pamela Anderson on her show. I think it was today or yesterday. And they're basically talking. First off, neither one had makeup on, and they looked gorgeous. I mean, they didn't really need it. I'm somebody that has gone many years with just not wearing makeup. And then I get in those little moods where I'm like, you know what? I'm putting makeup on and I'm going to feel fabulous. I think that every woman is different. And I think that women are naturally beautiful without it no matter what you look like. I think some women feel like, okay, if I don't have makeup on, I'm ugly. And that's just not the case. It never really was. It never will be. I feel like makeup for some people covers up a lot that they feel that they're missing or they're trying to hide from. And I had a friend like that growing up. He was my best friend. I've talked about her a lot. We're not really friends anymore. But she used to just cake on the makeup, like layer upon layer. And she would sit in class with her little mirror and she would just put more on and more on. And it was like not working. It was not working good enough. She was always so insecure and she didn't need to be because she was really beautiful and she had great skin. And I think before we stopped being friends, she had told me that she stopped wearing it and she put on, maybe wear a little lipstick here and there. So that was good to know that she kind of came to that place where she was like, you know what, fuck it. Me, I look better with makeup, of course. Of course, I feel better with makeup on. Like if I put makeup on right now, I'd probably just feel like the video would be better or something. I still have that in my head. I've always had that in the back of my head. But then I always follow through with just saying, fuck it, I'm not wearing makeup. So Pamela Anderson is someone that is still very sexy. Very sexy, was always kind of just known for that. Everybody overlooked everything else about her. And she used to wear the very thick black eyeliner and the fake eyelashes and the big lips, and she was just beautiful. She's beautiful. And I think once she let that go, she's truly trying to find herself now. That's what she said, that as soon as she kind of let go of the vanity or the need to kind of cover up or enhance herself, she saw herself for who she really was, and she actually is getting to know herself, and she really loves it. And, I feel that way too in a lot of ways. I feel like I don't know. I get her and I understand her. And I never was a fan of hers before because I always thought she was just like this Playboy model. Like, I never thought she was a slut. I never looked at her and what a skank. I never thought of her like that. I always thought she was beautiful, sexy, fabulous. All the guys wanted to do her. I remember dating this guy once and we were just hanging out. I can't remember what we were watching. She comes on, and right in front of me, he's like, oh my God, I would love to fuck her. I'm like, I'm right here. Like, I'm sitting right fucking here. And so I just got up and I'm like, I gotta go. Ugh. I have something to do, even though it's like 12:30 at night. It was such a turn off. And I think I broke up with him like a few days later. And because I was nothing like her. But then when I think about it now, I think any one of us could kind of do ourselves up to look like that. And I think that's the point she's trying to make, is that she was playing a character, a very sexy vixen, like sex goddess. And so she wore a lot of makeup and the fake hair and the blonde and the big fake boobs and the tan, and she did all of that and wore the little outfits, and every guy wanted to fuck that, every guy. And every girl, too, probably that were into girls probably wanted to do her too, or wanted to be like her. And so that's a lot of pressure on you, when you're just trying to figure out who you are and you're so young. And she was very young when she was famous. And she, famously had the very first sex tape that was actually stolen. I think it's the only one that was for real stolen. All the others were kind of like leaked on purpose to make money or get attention or fame, like, Kardashian, Kim, Paris. I mean, I know those two are kind of fame whores. They're thirsty. They're really, really thirsty. There's nothing wrong with that, whatever, as long as they kind of own it, which neither one of them really has, but whatever. So Pamela was in this very intense relationship, rock and roll, hardcore, all of that. I don't know. I think that she had a lot more to offer. And so she kind of disappeared for a while. And she said that she didn't even realize that she did it, but she kind of went into her little hiding space. She was depressed and anxious, and she didn't know who she was, and she was kind of lost. And her sons were always trying to get her to go out and do things and put makeup on. And her sons still are like wanting her to put makeup on. That's not who she is. It doesn't define her. She's a great mom, it seems like. Her sons adore her. Tommy, maybe at the time that they were together, they were very young, and he was drinking a lot and partying a lot. Maybe he was not so nice to her. From what I understand, he got very verbally abusive. I'm not sure physical. And she still loves him. To this day, she still loves him because he's the father of her children, which is understandable. And he could give two fucks. Like, he's married to somebody else. He's very happy. I don't know. But I know that she showed up at Fashion Week in Paris, and she had on this fabulous outfit. I don't know who designed it. I'm not into name brand fashion. I'm not into that. I wear the Gap, basically. Banana Republic, maybe, I don't know. I can't afford that shit, and even if I could, I wouldn't spend it on that kind of stuff. It seems kind of pointless and a waste. It's wasteful to wear a $3,000 shirt. But if someone's dressing you like they were with Pam, they were like, let's dress you. Let's make you sexy. Let's make you beautiful. So she had on all these really beautiful outfits, and she thought, I'm just not going to wear makeup. I don't want the makeup to compete. I don't want me being sexy and beautiful to compete with the outfits. And that's where it kind of started. And I think it's gotten way too much media attention. Big deal. So an actress or a celebrity, I don't know if I could call her an actress. Maybe now I can after the new movie that's coming out, which I can't wait to see. Something, a showgirl. I don't know the title. Something about a showgirl. That's what it should be called. Something about a showgirl. And she did Broadway, which was just, what? She knows how to sing and dance? Nobody knew that. She played Roxy, and I think Alyssa Milano is playing that right now. So, yeah, nobody really knew anything about Pamela Anderson other than she did Playboy. And I like the fact that even at the time that she was doing it, she knew what she was doing, that it was her choice. She never tried to blame anyone else for what she was doing. She owned up to the fact that when you do things like that, when you go to a hotel room and meet a guy that wants to give you a role or what have you, you know that shit might go down. And so you have to know that going into it, and she knew that, and so whatever happened, happened. So to me, that was her kind of admitting that, yeah, you know what? I had to do what I had to do to get famous. And nobody else really was willing to admit that. It's like the whole Harvey Weinstein. Everybody knew his reputation. Everybody knew. And Courtney Love fucking knew. I mean, he was going after her even. I mean, he hit on everyone. He was disgusting. So when you have a meeting with him at a hotel, you kind of have to expect that's probably going to happen. So maybe you should bring a safe person with you, or don't go. Don't go out for a role like that. I don't know. I'm not blaming the women, obviously, but I'm saying that instinctively. When I was in the business, I kind of knew what was going on, and that's why I walked away. Because I thought, am I willing to go there? Am I willing to go to that place that I may not be able to come back from? Because a lot of people don't. A lot of people kind of lose it and turn to drugs and alcoholism and whatever. They have to have vices. So, I don't know. I think that it's not for everyone. But I like her that she's honest. And I feel like we're finally getting to see who she is. And it's without makeup. So people are like, oh, she looks ugly without the makeup. Ooh, ugh. No, she looks beautiful. She looks great with makeup too. She looks amazing with makeup. We all do. Men do too. I mean, whatever. But I think she looks amazing. And I think Drew did as well. Drew looked beautiful. She always has. But when she puts makeup on, you're like, what? Like she's not even the same person. Neither one of them are. But they were like in the kitchen cooking on her show, and they were just talking, and Drew took out her extensions, and I didn't even know she had extensions. People always ask me, do you have extensions? I'm like, no, I'm too lazy. I don't want, I've always had like this big curly hair, wavy hair, and I've always been kind of too lazy to straighten it and too lazy to add extensions. And so I get that feeling. I would get that feeling like, oh, I just want to rip them out. And that's what Drew did. She's like, fuck it, I'm ripping this shit out. So Drew was saying she hasn't dated in like 7 years. And she's still implying that she's still in love with her baby daddy, which is totally understandable. Who knows why they broke up? It's kind of sad, really, because he is remarried and has a kid and seems very happy. And she says, it's my choice not to date. And I think sometimes with women, you need to step aside out of your own life for yourself. You need to take off all the makeup. You need to not date maybe and just be with yourself and get to know who you are and love yourself for who you are. And I think that's what I've learned throughout the years. There was that big chunk of time where I was just, after my 10-year relationship ended, where I just wasn't with anyone. And I talked about it on here. I had a lot of anxiety and panic attacks, agoraphobia, depression. I suffering a lot, and not just because of that. It's never just one thing with people, just like with my suicide attempt. It wasn't just one thing. It was like a dog pile, it was just one thing on top of the other, on top of the other, on top of the other. Then it's like, and I think that's what it's like with makeup. I think you put one layer on, you got another layer on, another layer, and the next thing you know, you're just this character, like Pamela Anderson said, where she just didn't even know who she was anymore. And she got back to nature with her looks as well as, gardening and buying her grandmother's old house and fixing it up. And she's like a whole new fucking person. That's amazing to have a whole reputation in life and all of that at a young, in her 20s, 30s, and then to reinvent yourself in your 50s. So it's never too late. It really isn't. I think she's like 55. I don't know how old she is, but she looks great. I'm not saying she hasn't had any surgery. I'm sure she has, but who cares? Because there was women that made comments. So, but she's had surgery. She's had this. She has Botox. She's had lip injections. And who the fuck cares? She's representing women in a good way, because she's allowing people to go, you know what? I don't need all that crap. If a man doesn't think I'm beautiful the way I am, then he's not my type. And I think she realized that the people that she was attracting and that were drawn to her weren't necessarily people that she'd want to spend any time with. I don't think Tommy was super into her, because he fell in love with her at first sight, I guess. And I think they were married a few weeks later. after fucking on the boat and then the sex tape and all of that. And he had the big dong, and I didn't see the tape, but I heard about it a lot from all my guy friends. So like, oh my god, it's like he pulled it out, and I'm like, I'm good. I'm good. I don't need to hear it. But they were so in love, and I obviously he was into her for her looks, and she's the cutest personality ever. She has the greatest personality, but she was very passive. She wasn't an aggressive type. She wasn't like, hey, yo, what's up? What's going on? You know, like she was very girly, very feminine. She still is. And I think that Tommy kind of fell in love with all of that. The whole, you know, persona. He dated a lot of women like that. That's his thing. Now I think he's kind of chilling out, and he's with someone that's, I think she's a comedian, very funny and just cool, down to earth. I think we change. All of us change one way or another. I can't go on for much longer because the last video I made, I think, was like 48 minutes. That was crazy. I had a lot to say though. And so, yeah, I'm Team Pamela, and I can't wait to see the new movie that she has coming out. She said that her agent didn't even ask her if she was interested in this project because she didn't think it was like her. And she was like offended, and then she fired her manager. She's like, fuck you then. And she did it, and I guess it's really good. And there's a lot more to come with her, and I like that. Eventually, I would like to see her with some makeup on. Yeah, just like I want to see myself with some makeup on again. You know, but I don't care that she's not wearing it. I think it's fabulous and beautiful and natural, and I think more women need to embrace that. They need to look at themselves and say, you know what? I look good with it, but I look good without it as well, and I'm okay. I think men have a way of making us feel less than sometimes, and we allow that. And we expect a lot of men in a lot of ways as well. We expect them to be like that. And so we kind of put that pressure on ourselves because we assume that's what they want. And it's not always true. If you want to go have sex with someone, if you just want to have passion, yeah, by all means, do it up. Do it all up. But if you want something real and you want to be real and you want to really know yourself, then just let it all go. Let it go. And I feel like I've been in that transition period for a long time where I'm just like, I'm letting it go. Fuck it all. Fuck it. Um, it's a lot. All right, so that's my rant. Not really a rant. That's my discussion about Pamela Anderson and, yeah, the new her, you know. Peace out.